What's going on, guys? Teen Mechanic here. Sorry if there's any wind noise in advance, but today it's finally gotten around to the introduction of this beautiful new edition I keep talking about. Now, there was a tire mishap I'll get into in a bit, but we have the new tires. It's all said and done, and it's finally time to show it to you. I don't know if you guys want me to keep just talking about it and beating around the bush, or if you want me to show it to you. Leave a comment below and let me know what you think. But okay, I'm going to stop. Here it is. So I had some guesses. I had guesses on Facebook, Instagram, and even YouTube of people that were guessing as to what it was that I had bought and had been hiding. And I had Mark IV guesses. That was the most common one. I had like 4 or 5 of those. Yeah, Mark IV, pretty close, not quite. It's a Thunderbird. Now this thing is probably going to be a disappointment to some of you. And, it is what it is. I can't really control what you think about it, but this car, in my opinion, is gorgeous. Now, I'll get into exactly what is so fantastic about it and how I came to even own it. The whole story is, I was sitting in social studies, looking at my phone, looking on Facebook Marketplace for cars, as I do in social studies, and I found this thing. And it said that it was, there was a very kind of mild description, said it was, a very nice shape, I forget that it was, garage kept and did have a couple of issues, it said it has no issues, and that it's, it's generally good. And it was listed for $8,000. And that's Canadian, obviously, so it was like, it was an okay deal for something like this that was as beautiful as this one is. And I actually called the guy and I asked him, before I get to that, I sent it to my dad, and he said, because he's actually looking to, maybe perhaps try and flip a car that might be cool to have in the meantime, kind of like I've been doing this whole time. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. I've just been buying cool cars and with no intention to make money, because I never do. But anyway, yeah, so he kind of thought, hey, whatever. So I sent it to him, and I said, and he said that he'd consider it for half that. That's what he said, so $4,000. I called the guy, and I said, and he actually said in his description that he needs it gone so desperately, because it was actually his best friend's car, brand new, and he was willing to donate it to Kidney Car, and they just scrap cars and give you a tax receipt. So they he was willing to get rid of this thing. He was willing to donate it. So I called him, and he said he had it appraised at $15,500 or something like that back in 2013, and that's why he picked that number. So I messaged him, I messaged him. I asked him for his number. I called him immediately. I didn't. If I'm serious, I usually don't message. I try and call. I had asked him, the history. Because this car is a history-oriented car. I asked him, how did you come to own it? How long has it been garaged? You said that it was your best friend's car, etc. I asked him all those questions. So anyway, I had asked him if he would be maybe willing to let me come take a look at it, and he was out of town, so I did talk price over the phone, and I said, well, I'd kind of be in the, 4-ish range, and he was like, yeah, come take a look. So I went, and I saw it, and I was greeted with excellence. And is that a mosquito? Yeah. Anyway, I was, no, I don't have ADHD. For those of you who think I do, I absolutely do not. Absolutely do not. But yeah, I do notice things like that, and I don't know why. I see them. Just because I happen to notice something does not mean I have ADHD. That's the problem with mislabeling people. Anyway, that's my spiel. But anyway, like I said, I got there and I saw this car that was immaculate. Like these seats are gorgeous and comfortable and conditioned and smooth and supple and gorgeous, and the dash is beautiful. This thing really has been garaged all of its life, and it had Sears tires on the back. I think I mentioned that in another video. Sears tires from 1990, and on the front it had these, which are a lot newer, and they seem okay, so I put them on the back. But I bought brand new tires, because, you know, I threw them on the front because I kind of had to, because I actually had a blowout in this car on Deerfoot, and those of you who aren't local, Deerfoot's like a very major highway in Alberta going north to south. Anyway, yeah, so I had to put those tires. That's getting besides the point. It had Sears tires on it, and it had been garaged all its life, and I actually had some faith in those tires because they were so perfect. There was no dry rot, there was no tread separation, there was nothing that would alert me to the fact that these tires aren't safe to drive home, and they were fine. I drove it home. Well, actually, my dad drove it home. So anyway, I keep mentioning my dad in relation to this car. He bought this car. He still bought it, but the thing is, I didn't actually end up buying it that day. I went home, I said, you know what, you'll be hearing from me before, you know, the day's end. And my dad and I really talked about it, and there was one factor that neither of us had really considered. And let me show that to you right now. If we go ahead and pop this trunk. Uh-oh, what's this? Well, yeah, she runs on propane, so it's a clean air vehicle. That's how I look at it. I don't look at it as a hassle. I look at it as a clean air vehicle, and it's also 98 cents a liter as opposed to 165 a liter in Canada. Now, I don't know what that is a gallon. I don't feel like doing the math, but yeah, so it's a lot frickin' cheaper than gas, and that's a big arse tank. So, you know, not such a bad idea these days to be driving something like that, but not a sellable car. And again, my dad wanted, you know, that was the whole intent with this car. Buy it, sell it. So I ended up, me and my dad talked about it. My dad said, well, I don't know, man. I would like it to be he said, can we knock some price, can we knock it down a little? And I said, I felt bad because the guy was so nice, and it was his best friend's car that his best friend had passed away. And I bought this from his best friend's estate, actually. Technically. So I'm the second owner of this car. And anyway, so, yeah, so I said, I'll try my best to get it a little further down on the price. And I ended up reaching an agreement with the guy of $2,850. Yeah, $2,850 for this car. Can you frickin' believe that? This car is a one-owner, immaculate condition car with every document, by the way, build sheet, window sticker, oil advertisements, bill of sale, everything this car came with in 1974. It has in the box. Actually, I put the box inside in the filing cabinet, but this, okay, shut up now, shut up. But this car is just, it has every document, and we got it for $2,850. Now, that's a pretty darn smoking deal in my opinion. This color's not original, by the way. It also has all the paperwork for the paint that was done in 1995, I think, or 96, and it was repainted for $12,500 back in 95. That is about a $20,000 paint job now. That is a gigantic price to have this car repainted. And the reason why is because a trash can flew across the hood and put a pretty decent gouge in it, apparently. And apparently it would have been almost impossible to color match it, so he just said, yeah, no, repaint the whole car. And like you can see, the vinyl's obviously mint, and I conditioned it and cleaned the vinyl as well. It's just an absolutely spectacular car. So I bought it for $2,850. Well, my dad bought it for $2,850. And then I said, no, we can't get rid of it just yet. Hang on a minute. And I've been driving it, and I registered it, and I own it on paper, although I haven't paid my dad yet. So right now he's basically just bought me a car until I pay him. Now that's brings me to my next point here. If you caught my last video, I mentioned that the Matador was going to be sold. I don't know. At the time of editing the video, I was going to even just... I even put a little message in there that's saying no decisions have been made, because no decisions have been made. I'm not even sure what the hell I want to do, and that's why I need your help. I'm asking you guys so desperately here, because this car is amazing. It's so perfect, and I don't need it, but I love it. I have a Cadillac that I have to drive that's also my nice car, and I've got a Matador that I love that's so rare, and I'll never find another one, and I love that car too so much. I have a truck that I need. I'm 16 and I have 4 cars, and, well, I have 3 cars plus 1, and it's I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't know. Like, I need some input. Which one do I keep? This or the Matador? This is cheaper to drive. This is in better shape. This one's worth a lot more. It would be stupid for me not to, but the Matador is rare. I love the Matador, and yeah, I don't know. It fits me. That car is just fantastic. I'll never find another one. I don't know, guys. I'm really at a loss. I am going to be driving this one for a little bit, regardless of whether I decide to keep or sell it. I talked to my dad. I said, regardless of whether I decide to sell it, can I at least, drive this one for a bit? And he said, yeah, basically yes. Long story short, and I'm going to be driving it for a little bit, maybe take it to a car show or two, and just enjoy it while I have it. But anyway, I thought that it was absolutely high time for me to get this out there and show you guys what I ended up buying. Really what my dad ended up buying, if you think about it, but that doesn't matter for now. I'm not sure how well this is going to fit into the video because it was recorded after I already did the outro, but I just remembered I can't do a whole video without showing you guys the engine and starting it up. So anyway, yeah, it has the 460 in it that was converted to propane, like I mentioned, and it is quite the motor. Definitely a powerhouse, even though it runs on propane. It's awesome. Yeah, there she is, 460, and I'm gonna go ahead and fire it up because obviously, let's shut this door. Oh yeah, listen to that, man. Listen to that. Now there is a little bit of an exhaust leak. I'm not so worried about that right now. It just sounds amazing. Now, if you're wondering what the mileage is on this guy, it's got 110,000 miles, which is definitely quite a bit. That's like 179 or something like that. Yeah, it's got almost 200,000 kilometers on it, which is quite a bit. But it was garage all of its life. Like, it really was. The guy drove it at the end before he unfortunately passed away. He drove this thing like 6,000 kilometers in 12 years. So he didn't drive it much towards the end, but he drove it quite a bit when he first bought it. So anyway, that's starting, and now that it's in driving, and I will take it for a spin here. I mean, as you can see, this car it's just about as long as the Cadillac here. The one driving complaint I have about this car is how many turns to lock it is. It's almost absolutely ridiculous. I'm not gonna really go too in depth here because I wouldn't mind doing a whole separate driving video of this car. But it's just absolutely gorgeous, like gorgeous. Oh my god, it floats even down a gravel road full of bumps. Oh my god, this is why I drive cars like this, guys. I do this off camera. I moan and groan at just the sheer euphoria that this thing presents to your soul. Like, it's not even funny. And there's the truck right there. It's just like absolutely amazing. I can't even deal with this, man. And oh man. Anyway, here we are. So it drives fantastic. This car is beautiful. So anyway, back to past Joe, where things will make a little more sense. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you want to see with this car. I mean, there's not a lot of work that really has to be done to it, if anything. Although if I do decide to sell it, or keep it, or throw it off of a cliff, I don't know what's happening. But if I do make a decision, odds are that decision is going to involve converting it from propane to petroleum. So that's a good video right there, although I'm not exactly sure. Like I said, I really don't know what I'm doing yet. So anyway, I need your input. Let me know. What do you think? Keep this immaculate, beautiful Thunderbird that's a one owner that we got for steal of a deal that is worth, it's just, and or the Matador, which is worth infinitesimally less, and is just a, it's an awesome car that I love working on and driving and owning, and looking at even. Like, like. I don't even know. You gotta let me know, though. What do you think? And I'm looking forward to reading your comments. Thanks very much for watching this video. If you liked it, give it a like. If you didn't, give it a dislike. And let me know, like I said. And I'll see you very soon in the next video, either with this car or with the truck or Matador or Cadillac or who knows. Plus, we might be painting the Cadillac, like I said. So stick around. It's going to be awesome.